During the months of October and November, there was a lot of excitement around Lucid Motors. This helped the startup's share climb to as high as $55 a share. The thrill, on the other hand, has worn off. Ironically, in this day and age, when recalls are so regular, it's difficult to claim to be a legitimate car maker unless you've had a large one, and Lucid has now made its way into the names of manufacturers that had recalls. Many firsts have been achieved by the Californian startup with the Lucid Air EV, its first electric car. Now the automaker has set another first by issuing its first recall. What's wrong? Should investors be worried? How does it translate for the business before its earnings call? All this in today's video, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to NewVehicleMedia, your go-to channel for EV stock. Quick reminder that subscribing's free and liking the video helps YouTube suggest similar content. Comments are loved and featured in upcoming videos. A recall for 203 Air EVs has been notified by Lucid Group, noting issues with strut dampers that were incorrectly fit. Owners of concerned cars were notified via email that there is a small possibility that the front strut dampers were incorrectly constructed by the parts supplier. More specifically, they have the snap ring, which is placed just below the coil spring seat, fitted in the wrong position. How big is the issue? Let's find out. Although Lucid clearly declares it has not gotten any complaints of strut damper breakdowns in any of its Air electric luxury sedans, it does acknowledge that this problem might raise the probability of a crash in the future. Even so, there were no specific complaints of a breakdown. It was beneficial to the company since they seemed concerned about the customer. That could certainly help build some brand image. But for now, to fix the issue, Lucid Group said it will thoroughly check both front strut dampers on vulnerable automobiles at its Lucid studios, Lucid service centers, or Lucid customer care locations. The examination will take roughly 1 hour. If one or both front struts need to be replaced, the complete operation might take up to 4 hours. Better take those 4 hours than any bad press, since even if the chances of breakdown is very low, the failure might cause an abrupt reduction in the vehicle's height adjustment or damage to the vehicle's front brake line, both of which could result in a loss of control, increasing the likelihood of a traffic accident occurring. The recall is number 22V090, and it may be found on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's website. It seems that the possibly problematic item came from Bilstein, a German suspension supplier, according to documents relating to the federal recall case. Lucid received notification from a German supplier that some of its front dampers may have been incorrectly manufactured, prompting the business to conduct a recall of the products. It's possible that a lower seat spring was installed improperly, which might have resulted in snap ring failure. The spring seat may then come into contact with the Air's braided brake lines, possibly causing damage to them, as well as reducing the vehicle's braking ability by as much as 50%. Bilstein's own fatigue testing of these badly manufactured components found that the dampers may break early at any point between 4% and 44% of the part's expected life cycle. Of the 203 vehicles impacted, 188 were built at its Arizona factory and delivered to customers between October 22, 2021 and January 9, 2022. The automaker says that sedans manufactured after this date are not impacted by this issue, and the business slates that it has not heard of any equipment malfunctioning on customer vehicles in the meanwhile. A spokeswoman for Lucid stated that the startup's first concern is the safety of their customers and their families, and they're trying to resolve this situation as swiftly as possible. As per Lucid's calculations, about 1% of the 203 cars that might be vulnerable would have the problem. The Air Dream Edition had a total manufacturing run of 520 cars, and the recall population represents about 40% of that total. Other owners who want to inspect their Air sedans can visit the Lucid Studio or Satellite Service Center for a free inspection and repair if necessary. This recall might not have cost in any vehicle failure, but it has indeed cost the startup in terms of a share drop of around 4% after the announcement was made public. The recall itself is not a major issue. Take, for instance, Tesla's recent recall. The number of recalls outnumbers the number of new automobiles produced every year, and no manufacturer is immune to them. However, it opens up the possibility that Lucid would have relevant issues similar to those seen by other new generation EV manufacturers, such as Tesla. Lucid, on the other hand, has invested a significant amount of time and resources into ensuring that the firm does not have as many quality control issues as it does. After everything is said and done, we'll have to wait and see if this is a proactive action by a firm that is serious about quality, or the first indicator that it isn't ready for a large-scale manufacturing. The company started building EVs last year. However, it's not yet certain how many vehicles have been delivered to consumers in total. Nonetheless, given that the business is recalling 203 cars, it's plausible to presume that at least some of those vehicles have already been delivered to customers. Not close to the target number of last year, but we'll get full details about it once the business addresses its earnings call in this week or on February 28th, to be more precise. Despite the fact that Lucid Group is apparently poised to undertake its first ever car recall, the company's stock price has taken a beating to begin the new trading week. The stock did have a brief stumbling block as a result of the report, but it didn't look like it was much impacted thanks to swift recovery for a short time. Nonetheless, 2022 is projected to be a milestone year for the Lucid Group, with the firm having already announced its plan to begin expanding its international presence. In order to do this, the firm is also looking to create its famous Lucid Studios in chosen places around the European Union and the Middle East in order to increase its sales volume in these unique geographical locations. But as always, I'm interested to know what you think. Do you think that recalls for the Lucid Air sends a bad omen to the marketplace? Also, what about the number of Air sedans recalled? They recalled 203. Is that the total number? Or the issue was in only some variants of it? The Shrouds are about to get off the secrets this week, but let us know what you think down in the comments below. Triple G7 says he or she owns a Tesla and likes it a lot. G won't go back to a gas car and likes the Lucid more than the M3. That's why G supports Lucid Motors all the way and says there's always going to be haters until they get one. That should wrap things up for today. Keep in mind that subscribing's still free and liking helps YouTube recognize your preferences. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.